Alrighty, let's try one more problem. Leo prepared 48 meals for a party. Of these meals, 3/8 had meat, half were vegetarian, and the rest were vegan. How many meals were vegan? So now that we've read the problem, we're going to go ahead and think about our second part of read, draw, write. And so we can go ahead and draw any type of visual that makes sense to us. However, because I really like tape diagrams, that's something that I'm going to use first. So, if I have read the problem, let's read it one more time and think about these questions about what is happening in this problem with Leo. Leo prepared 48 meals for a party. So, he's at a party or he's going to have a party and he's making 48 meals. Of those meals, we had 3/8 of them meat, half were vegetarian, and the rest were vegan. And the question wants to know how many meals were specifically vegan. So, let's think about what is happening to the 48 meals prepared by Leo. Well, there's a bunch of different types of meals within them, which is also showing meat portion, a vegetarian portion, a vegan portion. And so now we can go ahead and think about what would a tape diagram look like in order to solve this problem. So let's start with 3/8 had to be meat. So if I draw a diagram that's related to meat, so red is completely ironic, I'm going to create a tape diagram and break it up into how many parts. Well, if it's saying 3/8 parts of the meals are meat, then let's go ahead and show 8 parts. And I think that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means this entire tape diagram represents 48 meals because I cut the 48 meals into 8 parts, and only 3 of these 8 parts are meat. So let's go ahead and shade here, and I'm going to label this as the meat portion. Alrighty, so that looks so far so good. And then it says half were vegetarian. So I could then put half of my drawing, I could draw out half of it again, or I see that 3 of them are meat, but that's not halfway. That means the other 4 here would be half, right? Because half of 8 is 4, and this would be the veggie option. Or I could draw a separate tape diagram all for the vegetarian option. And then it says the rest were vegan. So all I have left over that hasn't been shaded is this part right here. So I'm going to label that as vegan. Okay, well, now that I've broken it up, it says how many meals are vegan. So actually, this makes it look a lot simpler. So if I have a total of 48 meals that I cut up into 8 pieces, what operation would that represent? Well, if I'm breaking it up into 8 pieces, that would be division. So we would be dividing 48 into 8 pieces. So let's go ahead and use bow tie. And so I know that that is 6. So that means every single piece that I have broken up represents 6 pieces, or 6 meals, So if I'm looking at the 3 pieces that are meat in red, well, that's 6 plus 6 plus 6. Or I could multiply 6 times 3, which I know is 18. So what is the 18 again? That's 18 meat meals. Does that answer our question? Nope, we want to know about vegan. So I see that the vegan meals is the one shaded in green, which represents 6 meals. So this would be 6 vegan meals. And so even though we've answered the question now, let's go ahead and just make sure we know how many are veggie. So if this is 6 for veggie, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could add it 4 times, or I could multiply it by 4 to make it quicker. And that means that there are 24 veggie meals. Which, I won't box that because that is not actually the answer to the question. Since they don't care about the veggie meals, they care about the vegan meals. So let's just stamp that tape diagrams are super helpful in representing the draw portion in our read, draw, write strategy. Now, I know that we can go ahead and use one tape diagram. We could have also used another tape diagram to cut it in half and show that one of these pieces was veggie and that the entire thing represented the 48 meals. And so how many pieces would we cut this into? Well, we would cut this into 2. And so 48 divided by 2 is 24 again. And so that matches what our answer is already. And so it was just another way we could draw up the tape diagram.